My name is Jayne, and I am the video editor at the OU Daily. And so basically that means if there are any video or compelling visual assignments, I will either assign a reporter to go to those or I will go myself. I covered some of the blackface protests that happened in 2019. I filmed the infamous Barnacle video when OU Parking tried to put the Barnacle in. That was me who took that video. I shoot OU football pretty much every weekend, except if it's an away game, although OU Texas is the big exception to that. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. Basically anything OU related that has a compelling video element, I handle that in some way, and then in addition to that, I have a desk of videographers that I will give assignments to, give advice. I'll give them critiques and feedback and help them get a video to where it is good enough and newsworthy enough to be published. And so a lot of my job is working with other people and communicating with them, letting them know what to do, what not to do, how to get things to fit our style and to fit our audience. So we have a lot of series that we do where it's student oriented or culture, arts and entertainment oriented. And so we try and inject that into our regular stream of news coverage videos, but that becomes difficult when you have 8 different people with 8 different schedules all trying to get in the same place to film the same video at once. And so I would say that, you know, it's really a blessing anytime we are able to get a really creative, strong video out there that's not just whatever the coverage of the latest event is. I think student media is important, because in a lot of instances, smaller student scale stories are not going to be the ones that get covered. You know, we see a lot of national media or, you know, big local media at the bigger stories. So the Evans Hall sit-in that happened in early 2020, that had a lot of local news coverage, but then, you know, all of the events leading up to that, the Daily had been covering already, and it was only sort of after our initial breaking of those kinds of stories or of the smaller scale stories that they then get picked up by local places. And so it's really just keeping an eye on things that are happening in and around the university. We get called the watchdogs of the university a lot, and I think that's an appropriate term, because if something is a problem or if something is happening, the students are most likely going to be the first to notice it. And so I think that student media is very important in that way, but also it's a great training ground for anybody who wants to go in media, because you have to consider, you know, ethics and news value. So you're already making a lot of production decisions when you're working on a video here that you might not be otherwise if you were like, I'm just going to go film this event. And so it makes you sort of take a perspective, take an angle that is different from your own. It separates you from yourself and from your biases as much as you possibly can. You know, a lot of this job is an exercise in quick editing and quick decision making, because you can spend a lot of time editing a video and making it perfect, but by the time you put it out, it may no longer be relevant. So you kind of have to make the choices of, yes, it's going to be a good video, but it's also going to be out quickly. It may not be the best product that it can be, but that's only half of the videos. The other half are the ones I talked about earlier, which are the ones that we're planning ahead and we're doing production, and those are much longer scale videos. So there's some give and take, but it could be anywhere from 1 person working on a video that's out the same day to 8 people working on a video that comes out in a month. If you are a videographer taking Dawn's class, come join the Daily next semester. That's about it. That's all I've got.